Kling has a new select tool for its elements feature, and it's really useful. Recently, I created a short video with this bag, and I uploaded a bag that was very, very similar. Kling did a better job than a lot of the other platforms, but it still was not exact. And this was just a few days ago, but now they have a tool that would allow me to put that exact bag that I photographed in the scene. This is the bag and this is the scene, and here it is. And this is much more exact. Now, quite honestly, the one Kling did before was much more polished, and I did appreciate it. But there are times you can't have those little changes, especially in a product shot. So let me show you how to use it. So first you click on Elements, and as you can see, there's a new feature, and we'll upload an image. I have images of subjects and backgrounds, and what we'll do is we'll start off with our subjects. But here's the thing. I only want one of the subjects. So now I can select a subject, or a face. There are 3 faces, a costume, or manual, which is what we're going to do here. So obviously I picked the subject in red. Now, if you want to change the size of the brush, it's easy to do. You can also erase, select an area, or invert. So in this case, it would take the 2 models but leave this one out, which is not what we want. And confirm. Now, we'll upload the background, auto everything, want it all. And last, let's pick an item. I like that blue sword, so we'll click, we can do subject, but we'll want manual. And let's move this down a little bit. I wish the brush actually showed a circle. That would be helpful. And confirm. Now for my prompt, model in red. I like to describe them a little bit. Holds up the sword. Here we have options. How long? We'll do 5 seconds. Yes, we want a 16:9. And how many outputs? Let's stick with 2. That's fine. And here we go. Looks like it'll take about 10 minutes. Here we are. And yeah, hey, Kling of course has sound now. You can hear a little background sound. And I like what Kling did with the sword. I like the kind of the blue flame around it. Now, it turned around, so it's now facing back down towards her. She's not holding on to the handle. So I don't like that. But it did what I asked it to do, to take this specific model in that scene, put it in this scene with this specific sword. That is a nice feature. Now, we have 2 versions of it, so let's see what the other version looks like. Here's the other version, and there's a little morphing with the sword. Oh, there's sound in the background, and the camera movement. Yeah, we still have that same flame movement, which, I mean, was around the sword, but at least the sword is up high. I'm not sure about putting it on top of her head. She does raise it, which is good, but those are little details, you know, that we can ask for. Different movements, be very specific in our prompt, things like that. So the AI really had to interpret what I wanted. So we can't be too harsh. Let's do it again in a different environment. So I'm going to use a different model. So we'll go to manual. But if I wanted to put this dress on a different person, I could do that. And that's one of the nice things about this feature. Let's start with this model here. Yeah, let's do the green. All right, good. What background? Let's pick a background. So we'll upload. We'll upload a new background. Hey, green, let's use the forest. Just auto the entire forest. And we have some flowers here. Which flower do we want? Let's take the carnation on the end. We'll do subject. Oh, manual. There we go, confirm. So this is a little longer prompt. Let's do 3 outputs and make it a little bit longer. So it gives the model time to walk towards the camera and throw the flower. Here we go. And again, maybe about 10 minutes for this to render. Here we go. You can hear there's sound of her walking and the flower a little big, morphing a little bit, but not too bad, not too bad. And we have to remember, this is Kling 1.6, and all these newer features tend to be in Kling 1.6, not their best model 2.1. I'm sure over time, eventually, we'll go to 2.1, but 1.6 is a real stable model, and I'm sure that is why they continue to go back to it for these higher end kind of features. Let's take a look at the other one. That's right, we have 3 of them. So here we go. Not much, just a little morphing with the flower still. It's not necessarily throwing it over her shoulder, but she kind of, waves it around. But the model looks good. The forest looks good. Again, a little issue with the morphing. I think if she just held the flower moving forward, it probably would be a very stable image. One more. I like the light. If you look at the light as she's walking, that's really good. I think this one's better. Still morphing with the flower. Again, as you watch it just in front of her, it's fine. But look how she's watching the flower too. That's good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to when Kling starts to apply these features to 2.1. But for now, this is excellent, and this is a really good feature that there's a lot of uses for. Let's do one more. This time, let's select the center model, and we click on manual. And create, that's a good size. Okay, now we have the center, getting better at this, going a lot faster. Let's go back to the swords. And let's use this big center sword. Click on manual. This time, let's use this futuristic background. Now, before I had the background here and the swords here, so it shouldn't make a difference, but let's see if it does. Model in blue walks towards the camera with a sword pointing at the camera, ready to fight. We'll do 2 outputs this time. Generate. Here we are with our model in the futuristic city, and well, the sword gets morphed quite a bit here, but she is walking towards the camera and she's ready to fight. So I say success. Really where we're having the most issues are with the objects in the subject's hands, where we get some morphing. Let's check out the next one. Oh, here we have sound. And again, morphing with the sword. The sword changes. Does she change? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Does she change a little? Yeah, well, maybe not. Interesting. Good stuff. So what do you think? Is this a helpful tool? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to hear more about AI for the creative, check into the Creative AI Show every Monday on this YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast location. I'll see you in the next video.